everyone! Minasan, konbanwa. My name is Jessica. Thank you so much for joining us on our very special edition of Japanaroo Plus InstaLive tonight. I am very honoured and excited to be introducing our very special guests. We have Helena Rathbone and Aiko Goto, who are both members from the Australian Chamber Orchestra, and they will be giving a live violin performance tonight. So please sit back and enjoy wherever you are watching from tonight, and thank you very much. I would now like to invite on Consul-General Masahiko to give a very brief opening for tonight's special edition. Consul-General.
Thank you very much. It is my great honor to have distinguished violinists here, and also the graduating students of Japanese International Schools of Sydney here at this residence of the Consul-General of Japan in Sydney. The very first time that we have this concert on InstaLive. So I hope, without further ado, I hope you enjoy the music and also question and answers, so that you could also enjoy the live discussions, and I hope that you could also ask questions after the concert. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for introducing Consul-General Mr. Kier, and good evening. My name is Aiko Goto. I'm playing violin, and I'm honored to be here tonight. And thank you very much for watching this InstaLive tonight. We hope you really enjoy, and we hope you enjoyed. And also, we are very pleased to meet all the Japanese international schools. Yes, students. So I have a question. Do you play any music? Wow. Piano or violin or cello or?
Piano.
Piano. Wow, great. Wow, wonderful. Yeah, hope you enjoyed too. And also, if you have any question after the concert, yeah, please ask us. And also that I have my great colleagues, the Helena Rathbone is here. I would like to introduce after I play the first piece. So now I would like to play Bach violin solo partita number 3 in E major last movement. It's called Jig, and Bach was born in 1685. He was a German Baroque composer and also organist as well. So most of composers have been or influenced about Bach composition. So, and also then Jig, Bach wrote violin solo piece is a 3 violin solo sonata and 3 violin solo partitas. And also partita he wrote about the Baroque dance style. So then Jig is one of his English Baroque dance. I hope you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Helena. Yeah, we have played for 23 years.
Very long time.
In ACL, and I've never forgotten when I met her first time. So, Helena, could you introduce about what
Yes,
you
so
play?
you've just heard some music by J.S. Bach, who Aiko told you was a German Baroque composer. We'd like to play something also by a contemporary of Bach. That means he was living at the same time as Bach, also in Germany, so therefore he's also a German Baroque composer. And he was very prolific, he wrote tons of stuff. And so there was Bach, and there was George Philipp Telemann, whose music we're about to play. And there was also Mr. Handel, who was very famous too. The three of them were good friends. And Handel said about Telemann, he could write a work in 8 parts as easily as anyone else could just write a letter. He was very clever, and to put parts together, and they weave in and out of each other. And this is a great example of how clever he was, because it's a little sonata. He wrote 6 of these sonatas, and this particular one, well, they're all the same. They're called canonic sonatas, and it means actually Aiko and I could share the same piece of music. We're playing exactly the same notes, but 1 bar apart from each other. So 4 beats apart from each other. It's very clever. So I start and I play bar number 1, and then Aiko starts in bar number 1 at the same time as I'm playing bar number 2. But it fits perfectly together. It's very clever. It's very like a complicated jigsaw. So this piece is sonata number 2, and it has 3 movements. to play. So we were in Germany just now. Now we're going to move to France. And this is by a composer called Jean-Marie Leclerc. And he was actually born 13 years before Bach. So they were kind of contemporaries. But he was born in Lyon, in France. But early in his life, he was a dancer and a musician as well, and he worked in Italy. And there he was very much exposed to Italian style of music, which is very different to the French style, and especially in the violin world. And he was a violinist, and he led from, when he got a bit older, the dancing fell by the wayside and the music took over, and he became a violinist. And was very much influenced by the Italian school of violin playing, which at the time was very much more virtuosic. And he took that back to France and introduced that to French, to the French people. So he was considered the father of French violin playing, really. And he wrote these violin sonatas for 2 violins. There are 6 of them in the set, and we're going to play number 5, and it's in E minor. And this also has 3 movements.
He was a Hungarian composer, and he composed actually, yeah, we played a Bartók violin duo, 44th violin duo, and he composed this violin duo in 1931. And this violin duo is originally from Bartók piano, like piece of the children's piano song, piano piece. And also then he was the collector of the Hungarian folk tune. So then always he was, he has lots of trips, and also with the, I think with the, like the recording machine, and he put, and also the going to the countryside and someone singing, he always collecting. So then this 44th violin duos, and he put lots of folk tune, and then we are playing from 44 duos. So we are playing five little songs. We play, the first one we play teasing song, second one maypole dance, and then bagpipe, solo, and pillow dance. So then also that, like I think he puts lots of meaning. Teasing song sounds, teasing. And so bagpipe is like, like for the Hungarian or, like English bagpipe. Like this.
Very good.
Anyway, you will hear. And also the maypole dance. So I'd like to Helena explain.
Yeah, I grew up in England, and maypole's quite a big thing over there and in the rest of Europe, I think. But always at the beginning of May, there's a maypole dance in little country villages. And what it basically is a big wooden stick coming up the ground, and on top there are very colourful ribbons attached, and they hang down the maypole, and the dancers, often called Morris men, but that's a different story, dance around the maypole, and they twist the ribbon in an amazing pattern so that the ribbon ends up twisting all the way down the wooden pole, and you get this beautiful coloured pole, and it's a celebration of spring, and that time of year, the beginning of May.
So, yes.
And we think the pillow dance might, you kids could probably relate to this, just having a bit of a pillow fight, hitting each other, pushing. I'll just check.
So this is teasing song. and this is, yes, thank you so much. And it's great to pleasure. It's so wonderful to play in person for the live performance to the people. Yes, and so of course everyone had time, like long time lockdown, and also the homeschooling, and us too, ACO, we couldn't have a concert, and now we start, and also from next year, 2022, is that we start the live concert as well, and we're really looking forward, and also we will move to a new place, Pier 2-3. That's wonderful for us. And so, how could I explain? It's amazing Instagram, and also like the replay on time. Everyone can hear, And also here is in person. We are sharing the music and beautiful, residents, and also beautiful people and nice atmosphere. But it's wonderful, and also always great to sharing with people here. So thank you so much for wonderful hospitality, and to Consul-General Mr. Kia. Thank you so much for having us, and also
Thank you.
Thank you, and also thank you very much for organizing all members of the Sydney Japanese Consulate. Thank you so much. So we would like to play just two little songs, and also Japanese song. For the end of the InstaLive. The first piece is the Memory of Summer, Natsu no Omoide. And second piece is Home Sweet Home, Furusato. We are looking for by the way, congratulations for the Japanaroo. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, it's amazing. You know, yeah, it's all.
Yes, thank you very much for your coming over. I think this is I think we started just on Friday last week, so it's a Monday, and we will have more events.
Yeah.
And but this is one of the highlights because of those distinguished artists we played for more than 20 years in this distinguished Australian Chamber Orchestra, and the violin, and I'm very honored. And also Aiko-san, you played for Japan Australia relations for so many years, 2000 and for the marking year anniversaries, and also the tsunami earthquake time, I think. Thank you very much for contribution. She was honored the Foreign Minister's commendation in 5 years ago. So thank you very much for another big contribution. And I like to invite the guests to just have any question answers.
Yes, so I'm just going to come to the front here. This is the time that I would like to invite everyone, including our live audience members, coming and watching us virtually today, for some Q&A, so question and answer time. So if you have any questions, hopefully you maybe have thought of some, please raise your hand, and with a big voice so the camera can pick you up, please ask your questions, okay? I can see you're very keen, so please go ahead.
バイオリンは何という名前のやつを使っているんですか？
So here, what kind of name?
That's a good question.
Yes.
Do you want to answer in Japanese?
Are you okay?
English is English.
English, okay.
English,
Yes.
yes.
So, yes.
Do they look the same, do you think? Are they the same size? Okay. The answer is yes, they are.
Because I'm small, so looks big. But it's same.
Yeah. And so you know how the music that we played, we had a French composer. Well, Aiko's violin is from France, and my violin is from Italy. And they're about 100 years apart.
Yes.
Mine was built in 1759.
Wow.
Long time, that's even before I was born. And Aiko's was from?
From 1862.
Yeah, so almost 100 years apart. And see how it's very beautiful, the back. See how it's one piece of wood? Yeah. And so is Aiko's.
Yeah.
Those are a bit more striking than mine. And they're quite shiny. They've got very lovely varnish on them, and the varnish is said to also contribute to the sound that they produce. And I'm a big believer that a violin sounds very much how it looks. That might sound strange, but when this particular, I don't own this violin. Aiko is very lucky that she owns her own violin. This belongs to somebody else. But when it first came to Australia, this violin, it came along with a violin of equal value, which by the same maker, but it looked very different. It was made in different times. And the other violin was much lighter wood, more blonde-coloured wood, and it sounded much brighter and lighter in sound. And this one, as you can see, it's quite dark and rich and golden, and that's how I think it sounds too.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go.
So this is the violin, it's called violin, and this is the guadagni.
This was made in Parma. Yeah. The most famous violins you might have heard of are by Stradivarius, and they were made in Italy also, but in Cremona.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Yes. We could go on for hours.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? Oh?
音を出すとか、綺麗な音を出すポイントって何ですか？
Yes.
Oh.
So the tips for how to make beautiful sound.
Oh.
That's a good
バイオリンで、
question.
それともバイオリン？バイオリン。Yeah.
It takes many, many years of practice.
Do you play violin or violin?
Also, we have very beautiful instruments. You know, when you begin the violin, you don't have necessarily a beautiful instrument, and it won't make as nice a sound as some of these. So, practice, perseverance.
Practice. And also, always listening. Also, you know, when you talk or when you sing, do you sing sometimes? Sometimes. Or if you say like this, you think this is beautiful, or this is how about this voice? Like, you know, it's same thing. Always trying to. When we practice, we are trying to make beautiful sound too.
Yes.
So then it's built.
So you have to imagine the sound very much, the sound that you like to make, and try your hardest to put that onto the violin.
Oh, another question.
What about
バイ
Miss
オリンは普通何十万ぐらいなんですかね。
It depends. You know, it's それぞれだと思うから。
If you work really hard at school and you get a really good job, someday you might be able to. I couldn't afford to buy this one. There's no way. So that's why very generous people buy it and they lend it to players. It's a bit like having a great painting. And you know, you've got to an art public can see the painting in an art gallery. Well, it's the same kind of idea, except this travels around the world all the time. Well, normally. So it's like it's like a living thing. But some of the violins that are worth a lot of money have been in a glass case for years and they haven't been played properly. And they take 2 or 3 years to play back in. You know, they need to be played. Wood is always moving, and, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have this side? Have you got any questions? Don't be shy. You can say anything. Oh, good. Hello.
何回ぐらいお二人で今日のために練習されたんですか？
Lots. Sorry. So how many times have we practiced, rehearsed for this concert?
Well, yeah, you can answer that.
Yes, 私たち yes, we played long years, and also that lots of times we played only till as well before, and also we just did during the lockdown. We just did the ACO homecast. So we played some of the pieces we just played today, and we played again. So then, when I asked Helena was very kindly said yes, and then then we just try to
息がぴったりで
Thank you
す
very
ごい
much.
ですね。
We know each other very well.
Okay. Any final questions from teachers or parents or students?
So yes, I have a question for Helena. So how did you start? Why did you start playing violin?
Well, my parents were both singing professionally, so I went to lots of their concerts and I saw little orchestras playing, and both my parents wanted me to learn an instrument, and I think my mum said to me, would you like to play the cello, which is a bigger violin that you play like this, And I said, no, I want to play the violin. And I think I was about 4 at the time. And so she found a teacher. So I started when I was 5 with the London Suzuki group. With Dr. Suzuki. So I met Dr. Suzuki from Japan. And yeah, so that's how I started. And my brother started at the same time, and he was 3 at the same time. So we started together, which in the Suzuki world is quite normal. Actually, I was quite old, age 5.5 to start the violin. But Aiko was 3 when she started.
Yeah, and it is Suzuki in Tokyo too. So yeah, with lots of connection. And in Asia, our artistic director Richard studied from Suzuki too.
No final questions?
Are there any questions from the camera?
No, we do not have any questions,
Okay.
but we have had a lot of wonderful comments, applause, and lots of love hearts during your performance.
One question. So, what is your plan for the next year, and how can we join the ACO concerts as we fully enjoy this music? I like to enjoy this again in a real concert. And any plan ahead for next year?
Yes, we've got a full program planned next year.
Throughout Australia or outside Australia even?
Yes, we're going to, well, let's say we are definitely going to Europe. We have an ongoing residency in London at the Barbican, so we are going there. And we're also going to Germany. We're going to play in Berlin too, as well. And we have a full season in Australia, and some of it will be in our new home at Pier 23 in Hickson Road. It's the next wharf along from the Sydney Dance and Sydney Theatre Company down there, which we move into in February. But if you'd like to look up aco.com.au, you'll see everything online.
Look forward to coming over.
Yes, please come to a concert, everybody.
Well, this is a very good ending comment. A big thank you for your performance today
Thank you.
from our audience members. So I would now, oops, sorry, that is a pencil. I would now like to thank you all for coming and watching our beautiful violinists playing today. Thank you very much, Aiko Goto, and thank you very much, Helena Rathbone.
Pleasure.
It was a pleasure listening to you, and I'm sure everyone here and everyone online feels the same. So thank you once again for tuning in to our J-Syd InstaLive, and we hope that you will come and join us next time. See you later.